A very common question is, how do I get more discipline? How do I gain more motivation? How do I stop being so lazy? How do I go off and start to build momentum and that type of stuff? And if someone asks me that question, I usually say something like this back to them. I usually ask them, do you have a partner, a girlfriend, a boyfriend? Do you have a pet that you love dearly? Do you have parents that you like? Do you have something or someone in your life that you really enjoy spending time with? And they usually say, yeah, I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I say, great. Let's imagine that particular partner was under attack. Someone had a life-threatening situation to harm the person you love most. And I ask him the question, in that situation, would you lack discipline? Would you procrastinate? Would you be lazy in that moment? And the answer is obviously no, I wouldn't. I would go and act. And I usually stop them and say something along the lines of course, because that person is extremely important to you and you would want nothing but their safety. You would want nothing but having them in your life. And they usually say, yeah, that's true. And I usually use that as an analogy for a little bit of an extreme analogy, of course, but I think it perfectly explains this whole idea of procrastination, laziness, and motivation, that we don't lack motivation, we don't lack discipline, we don't procrastinate, and we're not lazy to things that are truly, truly, truly important to us. So I think a lot of the times people confuse in their life what is a true priority to them, and they're expecting to do things that are low priority, and then they're going to be lazy, then they're procrastinating, then they're beating themselves up, all as feedback to associate pain with doing low priority things so they can go back and identify the highest priority thing in their life. It's a mechanism our brain has built in because our brain is constantly seeking the highest priority thing. It's a highest priority seeking organ, and it goes off and it wants to fulfill the thing that's most truly meaningful to it at that point in time. So if you are struggling with motivation, or you perceive yourself as lacking discipline or lacking motivation, I'm going to go off and state that it's probably because that thing you're lacking motivation or discipline, or you're procrastinating towards, in your perception, you don't see it as being as important as you think it is. And you don't necessarily see how that's going to help you fulfill what is truly most important to your life. And maybe you're not even aware of what's truly most important in your life, because a lot of people aren't. So to help you overcome this particular challenge, there's a very simple step you can put in place. And that is, in your perception, in your mind, raising up the value of a particular task, raising the priority of a particular task. So let's say, for example, you're a trader or an investor in the markets, and you want to raise the importance of going off and doing an action like backtesting, or raise the importance of doing something like, watching content or reading a book or going to the gym, whatever an action step is that you perceive yourself lazy or procrastinating to, then you want to go in there and ask yourself, how is doing that particular action serving and benefiting what's truly most important in your life? How is, me going to the gym, or how's me backtesting serving and benefiting my success as a trader? How is it serving and benefiting my relationships and my health? How is it serving and benefiting my mental awareness and faculties? My mindset, how is it serving and benefiting my business, my work, my vocation? And then same with going to the gym. How is going to the gym serving and benefiting my trading, my business, my work, my health, my relationships, my mindset, all areas of life? And the more general benefits you can stack to doing a particular exercise or a particular action step, and the more value you can give it by stacking benefits to each area of life, the more likely you are to go off and actually do that particular thing. Because remember, every human being does things based on priority, and our brain is the highest priority seeking organ. So if you don't see a task as being high priority in that moment, or you perceive another task being even more high priority than that, then your brain's going to automatically want to go off and fulfill the one that's highest priority. And if you expect yourself to do low priority things, you're going to beat yourself up as feedback to get back to the highest priority thing at that point in time. So if you are beating yourself up, if you are procrastinating, if you are lazy, I would first and foremost be stopping yourself and asking, why is it I'm expecting myself to do this particular task? Is it an injected action from someone else? Am I expecting myself to be doing something that I think I should be doing, which is an indication that's been injected from an authority, an external authority? And then I would stop and ask myself, is this particular task truly important to me at this point in time? If the answer is no, then you may want to put it on the shelf and come back to it when it is important to you. If the answer is, I would love to implement this task into my life, and you're still procrastinating towards it, I would then go through and link that particular task to every area of life and stack general benefits to it until you see it in your perception, your mind's eye as being truly important, and you won't have any issue with motivation, any issue with discipline. You won't procrastinate because you're perceiving it as something that's truly important to you. Just like you want to go and help, your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, if they're in trouble because they're important to you. It's the same principle with any particular task. Raise the value of that task, and you won't have any issue with procrastination, discipline, motivation, that type of stuff.